All right, boys. We got a lot to talk about, boys. There's just so much to talk about. And I will tell you right now that I love Melanie unconditionally. Okay. Me and Melanie have a connection that you guys in the chat just don't understand. You'll never understand it. You'll never experience the kind of love that we share on a biological, microscopic level. Okay. So anybody in the chat that is negative to Melanie, and I mean at all, even a little, I will ban you, and then I will come to your house in Minecraft and burn it down in Minecraft. So there's a lot of people pissed off at Melanie. A lot. Like everyone I know. And these are my friends too. My friends are pissed at Melanie. Even my friends are pissed. And I'm just kind of blown away because, like, look, in my honest opinion, I see both sides of it. So I understand if you have some religious viewpoint and you don't think ass and titties should be in gaming as an attempt to only have ass and titties. Now, see, I'm on the other side of that. I prefer ass and titties just because ass and titties exist. You could have a game called Ass and Titties, and then it just shows ass and titties, and the credits roll, and I will purchase it twice, right? So I can tell you my opinion right off the bat, but that doesn't matter to you. That's irrelevant to this show. You know me. You know me, okay? I love ass. So you don't have to question my loyalty to the ass cheeks, okay? But I have to defend my baby, my sweet boo thing, muffin, tiny girl, from all the hate that she's getting online right now. I will not let it happen. So I'm going to pull up a video. We're going to react to some stuff. And also, I'm going to go over all the tweets. All the tweets, boys. So first off, we're going to pull up V's video because I love V. And we're going to have some fun. And we're going to react to it. And I'm going to see if I disagree with V. Okay? If he says anything negative about my honey boo-boo child, I will throw down. I will go to Romania. I will get through the crowds of gypsies to take down V.
Y'all seen this? If y'all haven't seen it, it's been some crazy stuff going down. Apparently, according to a few people, this is now considered Coomer or Gooner bait. Now, for those who have never seen this clip, this is a clip of a character, doing a little dancey dance. Nothing.
Yes. By the way, yes. It says, is this what gamers want in this tiny... You probably can't read it because, StreamYard. But this caption from Pirate Nation says, is this what gamers want? Yes. Look, dude, I got to be honest with you. Right out the gate, okay? Gamers, the majority of gamers are men, okay? This is part A, lesson 1, okay? The majority of gamers are men. 80% of men in the US are not sexually active. Therefore, ass cheeks, positive. That's a positive. I'm just putting that out there. Okay. I'm okay with it and I'm cool with it. And I get that people are not. But that being said, also, who else other than men are gamers? Women. Guess what women like? Ass cheeks. It's crazy, right? So that's just going to happen, boys. All right. Look. 80% of people. This is why Melanie's getting shit on, right? 90% of people, I'll just say it, 90 or maybe more % of people want the ass cheeks. And I'm one of them. Okay? All right? I'm one of them. Now, granted, I would trade all the gamer ass cheeks for Melanie ass cheeks. But she knows that. Okay? All right? That's not in the equation.
Pirate Nation asks, is this what gamers want? The question itself is kind of loaded in my personal opinion, but it could be, it could not be. It depends, right? It could be just something for engagement purposes, right? Or just to start a conversation. But what gets me is the answer right here from Melonie Mac. Not me. I like attractive characters, but I don't want to play with something with naked butts, boobs, or bulges up in my face. I feel like a total loser playing something.
So Melonie Mac keeps getting herself into a pickle, and she doesn't understand why. She is absolutely baffled. As you can see, she is making this post right here. Society has gotten so disgusting that you're likely to get shamed more for calling out degeneracy than for actively promoting degeneracy. And so it seems to me like she is in dire need of wisdom. If you're a Christian...
I kind of agree with that. In the US, yeah. So look, you have to boil this down a little bit, right? So it says society has gotten so disgusting that you're likely getting shamed more for calling out degeneracy than for actively promoting degeneracy. That's true in the US or all Western culture. You know, Western culture is 100% about degen time. Degen time. Now, look, porn's always been there. Titties and asses have always been there. It was way, way, way more prevalent in the 80s. Go watch a horror movie from the 80s all the way up to 2011. Watch them. Titties and ass. And I'm all about it, okay? I'm not ashamed to admit my love for it. I miss it. But that is the way of the world in Western culture. Is it good? Yeah. Maybe for like local societies, right? Or your daughters or people, you know, involved in your daily life. Not, I guess, media or entertainment, right? I would not want a 14-year-old girl like in literal ass Daisy Dukes cut up to the cheeks walking around at Riverfest when I'm trying to eat my snow cone. Okay. I'll literally see that and be like, that's gross. What are you doing? Right? That's degeneracy that deserves to be called out, in my opinion. But the issue is who is allowing this to happen? That 14-year-old girl's mom is allowing it to happen. And she will not be shamed for said degeneracy because the West has changed significantly since these times. Right? And I feel like that means everything is catching up. Now, here's the issue. Here's the issue. You can disagree or agree that you don't like ass cheeks, like in your face. I get it. Here's the issue. When you go a little far when you're like, porn should be banned. And I think me and Melanie had we had an hour-long debate on one of my shows about porn being banned. I don't even consume porn. It's kind of rare, you know. Maybe I'm lonely and I'm in a hotel off in Iowa somewhere, you know, alone. And I'm like, you know what? I think it's time to light some candles, sit in the tub, you know, get my laptop out, go to the classics, you know, Heather Brooke or something, and, you know, grind one out for the boys back home. Okay. That's fine. Okay. But there is an issue where people are completely addicted to it. Now, how do you police that? In my opinion, you can't, because to police it, you have to censor or take away. And I'm not about taking away nothing. Okay. I ain't about that life. No taking it away. Right? Because that's the only way to fix it. Because I had friends growing up that quite literally slapped their shillelagh around vigorously like 12 times a day. I'm not joking. They would tell me, oh yeah, I do it like 12 times a day. And I'm like, how do you have time to do anything else? That's too much. You're addicted. It's causing you an issue, right? So there's just two sides of it, but the only way to take it away is to take it away. And I don't want to take it away. Damn you, son.
I would like you to pray for Melonie Mac because she seems to be in dire distress. She is thirsting for knowledge. She's trying to find her place in the world. You see, as a recent convert, and if you're not aware, like she used to be very huge on LGBT issues, she recently have found religion, but she's very misguided, right? Like she thinks that because she has found religion, she's probably better than the rest of us. Like even though she has led a sinful life up until now, because she has found Jesus, it has placed her in a place of authority, if you will. Like she has a bigger understanding than the rest of us. And we need to pray for the Lord to humble her, to make her understand that she needs to fear God, and that just like all the other humans, she's no different. Like she is with us, right? Like she's not above us. And this requires a lot of prayer from Christians, a lot of asking for divine guidance, if you will.
I love V, man. Something about him makes me laugh every time I listen to him. I completely disagree with this, but I love him. It's hilarious. He's just so funny. I disagree that Melanie thinks she's better than anyone else. Now, granted, look, there's biology. There's biology here, okay? There's very important biological issues here. Does Melanie probably think she's better than a lot of you bitches that are like overweight and gross? Yes. But that's a different reason, Okay, Melanie looks slick as hell. All right, I would drink 2 full glasses of Melanie for sure. Okay, 10%. We've already talked about this, but I don't think she thinks that way religiously. Now, keep in mind, I'm having to speak from my perspective. I have talked to Melanie about religion. I've talked to Melanie about video games, titties, porn. All you could watch the streams. Me and Melanie have like 4 3-hour-long shows together. Okay. We disagree at every single corner, and she still will DM me asking me how I'm doing. All right. Ask me if the wedding plans are correct when she sends them to me. Right. So if she thought she was better based on religion, she would have blocked my Coomer ass a long time ago. But she doesn't. Okay. This is where it's misguided. Now, look, I talked to Hypnotic. Hypnotic got blocked by her ass. It may be fixed by now, but this was like 2 days ago. Hypnotic got blocked by her. Right? And another guy got blocked by her. And I'm pretty sure Smash JT's blocked as hell by now. Right? Here's the issue. She doesn't know these people like she knows me. Okay. Intimately. All right. That's the point. She may be slightly older than me, but she looks way better than me. Right. So I need to tunnel vision out of this, bro. I legitimately don't think Melanie thinks she's better than people because of religion. I think Melanie probably thinks she's better than people because she's in shape. They're not. She probably thinks she's more intelligent. They're not. And she probably thinks her opinions hold more weight because she holds less weight personally. You know what I'm saying? And that's just natural. Okay. I don't hold it against her. What's up? You know, I feel the same way. If I see like an overweight person and they're like, I disagree with you. And I'm like, that's not allowed. You can't disagree with me. You're shaped like a basketball, son. All right. Anyways.
Well, because Melonie Mac is suffering, and she's suffering from what we like to call the convert zeal. It's when a person that hasn't lived a Christian life, like they weren't born in a Christian household, but they usually live the life of sin, and as she calls it, degeneracy. When finding religion, they believe that they have a better understanding than everyone else. And again, like they believe that God themselves have placed them in a position as the shepherd. But the reality is that we already have priests. We already have religious leaders. And we don't need Twitter evangelists to dictate to us, right? So what Melonie Mac here is failing to understand is that you can still shame degeneracy in society just fine. Like I occasionally has shamed degeneracy in society, but you need to do it in a way that doesn't make you look like a hypocrite. So the problem with Melanie is that
okay, so here's where we're going to start getting into the meat and the potatoes of everything. A lot of people are like, oh, well, she says she doesn't want ass cheeks in game. You know, I like ass cheeks, whatever. I get it. Well, here's where the issue lies. Because previously she was against the censorship of Stellar Blade, which started this whole thing, right? She's like ass cheeks and Stellar Blade based, ass cheeks in, you know, this other game not based, right? And that's where everything started burning down, right? And also to slightly disagree with you, just a hair here, I'm quite positive that when you are of the Christian faith, especially the devout Christian faith, you are required to try to I wouldn't say lecture, but course correct any kind of behavior that you would see as against your belief structure. Pretty sure that's like what you're supposed to do. I don't like it at all. Personally, I hate that shit. I don't like when people are like, I'm like, nah, get on my face. Okay. But that's kind of what they're required to do. I'm pretty sure, you know, but hey, it's all good.
She wants to live in a society where she does the shaming, right? Like where she is the shamer, but she doesn't like to be the shamee. Like she doesn't enjoy when other people shame her for her behavior. And usually, again, like the person that finds the convert zeal, they will try to ignore their past, and they will say, no, everything that I've done in the past should be forgiven, no matter how bad it is. But now I live in the now, so you should only judge me in the now. And when people judge her in the now, she is still upset, right? Because the reality is she doesn't want to be the shamee. Like, she wants to be the community leader. But it is very difficult to adopt Christianity just as an aesthetic if you're not going to act the Christian lifestyle. So if you're going to show yourself on camera wearing 7 chokers and as if you've fallen into a vat of makeup with shoulders and midriff exposed, with your arms exposed, filled with tattoos, and you're not looking modest at all.
Come on, V. Come on, V. Okay. Come on, V. Come on, man. What Melanie's drip right here is very modest. She got her shoulders out. All right. She got the chokers on. She looks 2003 goth. I dig it. Right. Yeah. There is no drip that is Christian unless you're like hyper 1800s Christian. Right. This is totally modest and fine. She looks sexy. I don't see no midriff. I wish I saw some midriff. I see no midriff.
But you're going to start shaming people about degeneracy. There may be a little disconnect over there. There may be some people wondering, like, is this person like legitimately a God-fearing woman? Or is it a person that used to be a leftist activist enjoying using the ideology to shame others? And now that leftism isn't in vogue, she is doing the exact same mindset, trying to shame others, but using Christianity as the vessel. And I do think that it's quite a legit question, because if you look at other people like Vara Dark, for instance, she presents herself very modestly on camera. Like she behaves more like a...
Vera got a sneaker build, though. Vera got that sneaker build. Got a big ol' ass on her.
Christian than other Twitter evangelists. And I think like this is why a lot of people do not accept the shame coming from Melonie Mac, because in order to be shamed by someone, that person either needs to be in a position of authority or you need to look up to that person. And it is very difficult for Christians to look up at people that cover their bodies in tattoos and make lewd thumbnails in order to try.
All right, we gotta go. I gotta go see if she has lewd thumbnails real quick, because I don't believe that either. Damn, V, he goblin maxing right now. He's all over my girl. V, why you on my girl right now? Leviticus 19:28 says no to tattoos. I don't believe modern day Christians or most sects of Christianity follow the Old Testament. I might be wrong now. Look, I ain't a God-fearing man. Let us look and see if she got some thirst trap thumbs here. She just looks like a girl. Now, look, I gotta be honest here. She just looks like a female, and I think what V is leaning into here is if she was like a fat chick with this drip, it would be like normal. I mean, whatever, right? But she's like, Melanie's hot, right? So I guess you could say it's thirst trapping because she's just hot, but she can't control her hotness. But no, I definitely think that's a reach by my boy V, because I don't really see much thirst in here. I mean, dude, I can go to most any female content creator that's large, and they have like their tits out in every single thumb. Zia got some thirst traps in her thumbnail, right? So I don't think that's the same.
But the channel itself is bewildering. Like the things themselves that she is doing are bizarre. For instance, she dedicated a lot of her time in order to advocate for sexy women in video games. And this is how she found her community. Like a lot of people have noticed that in Western culture, female characters in video games are desexualized. And this was done through the ideology of the TERFs, right? Like they said that the male gaze is evil. And so a lot of people were looking up to other content creators that were saying, can we stop with this ridiculous notion?
And this is where shit hit the fan, because I agree with V here, right? 100% agree with V here, because he's saying that there was an audience that was like, we need a hot ass chick to advocate for hot ass chicks. And that's what Melanie does, you know? She's right there. She's like, yes, I want attractive females in games, because, you know, and I've seen it. I think, well, you know, everybody has seen it. That's probably why it's creating such a stink, is because I saw, you know, I've seen her tweet about it. I've seen her make videos about it where she's advocating for less ugly characters. But Does less ugly mean basically nude? And I think what we're caught in here is the black and white's non-nuance of parasocial internet like communities. I think we all experience these same things. There's nuance here. The issue is on the internet, you have to pick a side, right? And Melanie has released a statement about this as well, which I'm going to go over. But that's kind of where I think we're trapped in this gray area, right?
Like things that are titillating and stimulating femininity itself is part of human nature. Getting aroused is part of human nature. Now, we're not asking for pornography, but the eradication of the male gaze is not something that should happen in art. And so this is what Melonie Mac in her channel has done consistently, making fun of game journalists that were asking for the removal of the male gaze. And I suppose that now that she is getting what she wants, and there are video games that are being made today, which seem to be on the right trajectory.
Like Marvel Rivals and whatnot. This tweet says, I didn't realize you couldn't play games like a normal person, and that taking pervy screenshots in the most provocative outfits possible was how the game was supposed to be played. And here I was actually interested in the gameplay as a cute character. Oh, silly me. I've been playing games wrong this whole time.
She doesn't like this. And I think she doesn't like this because she's a contrarian. I genuinely think this is what defines Melonie Mac. Like, she likes to be on the opposite end of any discussion, and she likes to use ideology in order to get some form of authority. Like, she's not using her expertise, you know, like she studied video gaming history for the last couple of decades, or she studied human culture and she has expertise in that. No, she's going to use ideology, right? Like, the Lord is on my side. Jesus would play the video games that I like. Jesus Christ is fine with Stellar Blade, right? Like, Jesus Christ would play Tomb Raider, but Jesus Christ would not play The Last Descendant. This is literally how the conversation started, by the way. She picked up the game The Last Descendant, where a woman's plump tushy was in view. It was covered, but she demanded that this is degenerate. And in other posts, she said that degeneracy and pornography have to be banned. So people that put one and one together concluded that she wants to ban video games. And now she has to do all these mental gymnastics in order to try to rationalize, well, no, actually, I don't want them banned, but no, wait, I do. Like, listen. I want my simps to say that these games should be censored, while I will try to distance myself far enough so that it looks like I'm in a gray area. So when I see people associated with me asking for these games to be censored, I won't condemn that. And in fact, I'll pretend I don't see it. But when I see other people attacking me for it, I will just make arguments such as this. You're against Gooner Games, but you bought Stellar Blade. I didn't realize you couldn't play games like a normal person, and that taking pervy screenshots in the most provocative outfits was how the game was supposed to be played. That is a lie. Stellar Blade has hot...
Oh, I love it. His ass cheeks right there.
Scenes like this.
I mean, but like, look, here's the issue. Her outfit in this game is specifically engineered for her acrobats. Okay. She could not make these acrobatic moves if she had blue jeans on, like loose blue jeans, right? Here's our issue. That's why this game's okay.
Right, like the game forces you to witness these types of cutscenes. And this is a game that...
AM Harbinger says she does have a costume of blue jeans. Yeah. We don't need that. We don't.
Christian Melonie Mac promotes. So I assume Jesus Christ enjoys Stellar Blade. But for some reason, Jesus Christ does not enjoy the first Descendant. And so if you're going to make all of these logical inconsistencies, people are going to shame you as a person, not because your religion, not because you're trying to get rid of degeneracy, but because you're trying to water down definition, set bizarre standards that you yourself don't uphold, follow a religion where you get to pick and choose which side you like. Like, for instance, modesty is not something you like. You wouldn't like other people lecturing you how to dress in front of the camera, but you want to lecture other people what games they should play. How is that fair? Why should people listen to you? Why is that something that we want from our Twitter community? Because I understand this is another talking point. It's like, what?
All right. So I think we have a good idea of what's going on, right? Melanie did respond to this, and I want to see this because this is very important. Okay. I agree with a lot of the things that V says. Disagree with a few things he's saying. Squid says this whole argument between Melanie and everyone else is subjective Gooner paradox. It's art if the game isn't meant to be lustful, but even the games that are meant to be lustful can be considered art. Still want hot women. I agree. Look, first things first, I disagree with Melanie in the terms of we need to, get rid of porn or outright degeneracy in games. I'm the opposite. She knows that. We've talked about that before. Respectfully disagree. I'm watching a new show, and it's not new, but it's a new show to me, and it's called Banshee, and there is a sex scene every 20 minutes, and it is like raunch, and I'm all about it. Let's go. They're making up for lost time. But Melonie Mac did respond to this, so we're gonna jump right on that real quick, and I'm gonna tell you if I continue to agree with Melanie.
So this video has been a long time coming. A little over a month ago, I got canceled from the anti-woke side, right? Canceled or cancel attempt. It is what it is. I lost a lot of followers here on YouTube and on X because I said I do not want perversion in video games.
My poor girl. I just want to hug her. Tell her everything's going to be all right. Give her a forehead kiss. She's been through a lot, man. She's been through a lot, and she needs some love and support from you, boy, and his big, strong arm. All right, let's get back to my girl here.
And that includes that of the straight variety, right? Now, some people I've learned that the anti-woke, there are different factions in the anti-woke crowd. I am a Christian. Everything I do, everything I say, everything in my life is centered around Christ. So I didn't make this channel 3 years ago to put my neck out there to get blacklisted from the video game industry so I can't even do mainstream work like I used to do. I didn't put myself in that position to call out the perversion with the queer ideology and this, that, and the other that has been infecting everything. I didn't put myself in that position just so I could turn around and push perversion just because it's straight. Not going to happen. Now, if you want some sort of context, I can give you a little bit. I'm not going to show the actual video because I do have a lot of Christians who follow me who probably wouldn't appreciate having something like that thrown on the screen. But a lot of you already know what I'm referring to. Now, this is a game called The First Descendant.
Pickle says she's perfect. I agree, man. I agree.
Didn't play it. Didn't really comment on the game itself. I commented on the material that was presented in question. And the material that was presented in question of the tweet that blew up and got me so much backlash and hate and saying I was betraying everybody was a video of a character dancing and shaking her butt in a thong with the camera focused on it. Again, I'm not going to post it just out of respect to my fellow Christian viewers. And I know some guys are struggling with pornography and they don't want to see that because of that reason. Not only
I'm struggling right now watching Melanie, bro. Look, I'm joking. Okay, calm down. This is a comedy show.
was I grossly misrepresented and told, oh, what are you talking about? You're being a prude because this character was 80% clothed, huh? Funny that you want to use those words. Oh, but she's 80% clothed, even if that includes nothing on the bottom. It kind of doesn't matter. Almost don't pretend, at least don't play stupid with me. Don't pretend that there was not lustful intent with that video. And that is not what the intent of the whole question was, right? Because here's the thing. There is a side of the anti-woke that are like me and are like, hey, I don't want perversion in our media. I don't want this to seep through our mainstream media. When they ask the question, is this what gamers want? No, I don't want that. Just like I don't want the queer stuff and I don't want the gay stuff, right? I'm not forcefully taking this stuff out of existence, but I am shaming it, just like I do the gay stuff, because it poisons society. So I do the same thing with this. Now, again, people are like, oh, well, what about, I'm like, I didn't say. My only experience with this game that I have seen has been people posting cleavage shots, butt shots, and camel toe shots. And the question was, and there's another side of the gamer anti-woke side that says that have been against the queer stuff with us, with me, and why perhaps they think we're on the same team is probably because we agreed on this. So they were loud and proud speaking against the queer stuff, but it's like, oh, wait a minute. You weren't against the queer stuff for any sort of moral reason. You were against the queer stuff because you weren't attracted to it, but you still want something equally as perverted, but just something that you are attracted to.
And that makes sense. That completely makes sense, right? Now, will she address Stellar Blade? Because I agree with this. Obviously, you're not going to want degeneracy on the, an extreme side. You wouldn't also want degeneracy on the other side, right? Now we have to get to where, is she going to say she wants it banned by the government? Which, me, I don't want the government to do nothing about anything ever. Government needs to do less things, right? Less shit. So that's our issue. That's what my hang up is. Will she ask to ban it permanently? Ass cheeks and games, right? The issue with, disliking forced LGBTQ stuff in games is the fact that A, bad writing, B, it's completely forced, and C, it's not banned, but people vote with their wallets the way they should, right? You should vote with your wallet. Voting with your wallet will naturally, through the system of capitalism, weed that shit out, right?
But it's like, hold up, I don't relate to you. That's not me either. And let's just talk about what is one of my arguments against the queer and the gay stuff that they keep adding to these games. These games keep tanking. They lack substance because these perverts, these queer perverts, want to insert their ideology into the game instead of actually making a good game. So guess what? They crash. Well, you know what? Same thing happened here. Here you have a game where the main focus and selling point has been driven by perverted reasons. And so, yeah, okay, here you had a peak of 264,000, and then now it is at 9,000 concurrent players. It dramatically dropped. Let's be real. If we're going to call Dragon Age the Veilguard a flop, this too is also a flop.
I do have to say, she's right here, but I have to say, I did like the adult games on Newgrounds when I was a teenager. That was the major selling point for my ass. Okay.
Just because you are attracted to it, does it change the fact? And as a gamer, I keep seeing the gaming industry and video games as a whole hijacked by perverts, people who want their ideologies in the game. So when you have the gay stuff, you also have another branch of perverts, who the gooners, if you will, who are watching a ton of pornography, and they want that inserted in everything in their life, and they also need validation. You know how the alphabet community...
I would disagree. I'm a gooner. I think I'm a gooner. I feel like I'm a gooner. And here's how I'll explain my goonerness. I don't consume much porn at all. If you compare me to another person that would consume porn, I guarantee you it's less. I'm less. It's like once a month, maybe. It's pretty rare. Granted, I have a regular sex life, right? My sex life. So I don't know how that would play out if I didn't. Maybe I don't really know. But as it stands right now, I don't consume much porn. But I consider myself a gooner because the female form makes my blood pressure and my heart rate increase to abnormal levels. And I can't control it. You know what I'm saying? I got testosterone of a silverback gorilla, man. Okay, you don't understand. I see like those two dimples right above the ass crack. I don't know what I'll do. I don't know what I'll do. I would fight in a war for that. So that's why I consider me a gooner. Okay. That's why I consider, but I don't consume corn. And Melanie's saying right here that people that would like smash cheeks in some games as their main focus also consume a ton of corn. I do not. Now, granted, I don't play a lot of video games, and I also don't really ever play as women. I've never really cared for it. I'm always like to play as buff dudes. A little bit gay. It's fine. And also, I wouldn't be interested in a game that has just ass cheeks as its main focus. Now, to skip ahead a little bit, Marvel Rivals, Stellar Blade is, a solid game from everything that I had looked for. Also, Marvel Rivals is apparently a very, very good game that happens to have some tight clothes in it, right? So that's the issue. Now, her argument is this game is trash balls, and people were, propping it up because of ass cheeks, right? And that's where her problem lies. So there's the nuance that I'm gathering here. My issue is in banning it, and that's what we're going to come into real quick.
Community, LGBT, all that kind of stuff. They're always screaming for validation. Not only if you are against them, if you are against their ideology, they want to crucify you. They not only need you to just be like, oh, whatever. They need your validation. And they can't cope with you being against it. And I have seen this same vitriol with the Gooners after Gooner Gate. So I can't, they want me actively promoting this stuff, or I have betrayed them because I am against it. They need validation for what they're doing and what they're promoting because it's perverted. And they deep down, some of them may be in a more reprobate state, but deep down, it's perverted. And that's why they need the validation. That's
what is this? Is this a robot? Sorry, I know I'm like derailing, but what is this?
Because it's perverted. And they deep down, some of them may be in a more reprobate state, but deep down, it's perverted. And that's why they need the validation. That's why
this little dog is just itching forever.
You have to have pride parades for gay people and troons, people cutting their body parts off to try to pretend like they're the other gender. That's why they need whole parades. That's why they need a whole month to celebrate. That's why they need to see it plastered all over every store in the month of June.
Oh my God, Melanie, take this poor dog to the vet. Holy shit. That was 30 solid seconds. This little boy be bleeding after that, dude. Oh my God. You see that shit? Woo! Keep in mind, this is on 1.5 speed. That dog was going hard. Woo! All right. Anyways, let me rewind a little because I was so preoccupied with that dog.
It's perverted. And that's why they need the validation. That's why you have to have pride parades for gay people and troons, people cutting their body parts off to try to pretend like they're the other gender. That's why they need whole parades. That's why they need a whole month to celebrate. That's why they need to see it plastered all over every store in the month of June, because they have to work so hard to create enough validation that will overcome the sense of shame that they feel deep down because they know it's wrong. And so you have that same demand.
I just love Melanie's passion.
From these gooners to create this more validation than the shame that they feel for being pornography brain. Now you have certain people who know that it's wrong and they're trying to do better. And hey, God bless you. Read the Bible, seek Jesus. Only he can help you. And I say this to the queer side as well. And I have the same stance on queers as I do these gooners. Is that, hey, yes, what you're doing is shameful. Yes, I think this stuff is shameful and I don't want it in my entertainment because it's shameful and it's hurting society. It's disgusting and it's perverted. No, I don't want it. Do I think that people participating in these activities are losers? Yes. But you know what? It doesn't mean you have to always be a loser. Have I ever been a loser?
I thought she was going to say no. Does that mean you're a loser? Yes, it does.
Activities that made me a loser? Yes. But I have sought Jesus Christ and I walk with Jesus Christ, and it is walking with Jesus Christ that gives me the strength to avoid and to overcome temptations that if I were to succumb to would make me a loser. Okay.
What is she trying to say here? She trying to say if I walked up off the beach with my abs out in like, some like tight boy shorts, right? And my hair slicked to one side, she would be a loser if she thought I was sexy. I'm calling cap on that one, Melanie. Let's go. What's up?
So that's the thing. When I talk about the gooners, all this stuff, it's not from a place that you're never going to amount to anything, but it is from a place of, hey, what you're doing and what you're promoting and what you're normalizing and what you want normalized in society and in video games in general to desensitize people is perverted. It's hurting you. It's loser activities. Now there's all these whataboutisms. What about Lara Croft? What about this? Don't pretend. And so you're either coming from bad faith or you are delusional because you are so desensitized from women because you watch so much pornography that you can't even see a woman without thinking of pornographic things. Lara Croft, she's created with a curvy body type.
I will say, if I'm at the gym and girl got them cheeks on, the ones, the leggings, you guys know what I'm talking about. And that thin waist, and she squats 225, bruh. Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Curvy women exist each and every single day. There is nothing wrong with that. And the reason why the woke side tries to remove female curves is not for the intent of even purity purposes, because women are curvy. That's reality. Not every woman is curvy, but there are lots of women who are curvy. And so when you have a character with some level of exaggeration of those curves, then it's exaggerating their femininity. There's a difference between exaggerating the femininity of a female character versus exaggerating the character for entirely lustful purposes. Now, Lara Croft was a character who was curvy, feminine, but you play those classic games and you show me anything that was lustfully intended, right? Show me anywhere where Lara Croft acted like a slut, because she didn't. Show me anything, because it's not there. Tomb Raider has substance as a game. The character design was really good, artistically speaking, and aesthetically pleasing to the eye, but was not created in a way to incite lustful intent. It was, oh, here's an attractive character that you can acknowledge as an attractive character, but it wasn't created for lustful intent in the same way that a game, here, let's post this game where with the characters are all wearing lingerie. Like, excuse me, that is not the same thing, and you know it.
Yeah, 100% I agree. You know, it's definitely not the same thing. Here's where the gray area, like we're hitting hard in the gray area. And unfortunately for internet, there's one side or the other. There's the opposing side and there's two sides, right? There's the for it and the against it side. Now, look, I will say Lara Croft did her triangle boobies. They meant something back in the day. Now, were her triangle boobies, like, was the game based around her triangle boobies? No, right? That's what she's saying. But she had triangle boobies. It goes back to the point, a good video game that happens to have triangle boobies versus a game that only has triangle boobies to have triangle boobies and the game sucks, right?
Genuine for once. Let's not play here, and let's not pretend that I want characters to be made ugly. Beauty comes from God. God created beauty. Yes, I want to see video game characters that people create be beautiful as well, but I don't want them to be perverted. Beauty and perversion are two different things.
Now, here's the thing, though. We got to get to Stellar Blade, because I kind of agree with everything here. I don't agree with her personal opinion that, I don't want to see an ass cheek. I love ass cheeks. I would love to see some ass cheeks. I don't have to see the ass cheek, but I would, if there's an option for an ass cheek, I'd see it. Right. I will say I've never downloaded the Resident Evil 2 Claire naked mod. I did for Resident Evil 3, but that was just out of experimentation. I don't have to have the ass cheek, although I don't have a problem with the ass cheek, but I understand what Melanie's saying here from her point of view. The issue comes is, do you want it banned? And that's where everything gets kind of fucked.
And I think what has happened with society is it has promoted perversion. It has celebrated perversion. We've had this, live and let live type mentality. Don't kink shame. Don't shame people's sexualities. They made up an entire concept of sexuality that isn't real. God created woman for man. That's it. There's no other sexuality. Anything else is a perversion of God's creation.
Damn straight. You hear that? God created women for us.
Creation as per the Bible. And you know what else is perversion of God's creation? Is when you're substituting, I'm going to use a male as an example. If you're substituting a wife for a pixels on a screen, that's perverted. Your sexual gratification is supposed to come from your wife. And if you are seeking alternate sources, seeking those sources for sexual pleasure, you are acting in abomination and perversion. Simple.
Hold on, let me let her talk.
As that. And anything that is created with the intent to make you do that is the same. And how do you just here saying it's just guys doing that? Women do that too.
All right, here's my issue. Here's my biggest disagreement of the day. She's saying that men should not make stomach pancakes to corn or video game characters. They should only make that about their wife. Here's the issue. 80% of men in America, first world nation, 80% of men are not sexually active. What do we tell these men? Where is their outlet and what do they do? Because Melanie's been married, Melanie's she's had sex before, she's experienced all the things, right? And I can understand as a guy that regularly claps a cheek or two. Here's the issue is I have that outlet. Melanie's had that outlet. A lot of these dudes in my chat right now ain't got that outlet. So are they going to be celibate? That's an unreasonable standard. See, this is the face Melonie makes when we coming off the beach.
There are actual Gooner games for women. I have seen them. I have seen people post them unabashedly. No shame. there are games that's usually of the romance novel variety, and you have a bunch of male suitors, really attractive male suitors who more so you're not going to see as much. It's going to be portrayed in a little different way when it's meant to appeal to women, but it's still equally as perverted and equally as disgusting because it's trying to elicit the same reactions. So you have these suitors, and they try to, as the female player, they are trying to seduce you and win you over. And the goal here with these games is for these guys to be whispering sexual things in the player.
Oh, to be fair, Melanie's seducing me right now, and she ain't even saying anything that's like I'm agreeing with. See, this is the issue. Do we need to ban Melanie from just talking? That's a really fucked up freeze frame. I'm sorry, Melanie. Hold on.
There's ear.
Okay, there we go.
Here and are going to create a sexual fantasy for said player. Again, that is not God's design. God's design is for a woman to have said pleasure from her husband. So if she is seeking outside sources for sexual gratification and pleasure that is not a husband, then she is committing a perversion. Whether that be a visual novel like that, whether that be a book with that purpose, or whether that be even just a video game, like any regular video game. If that is
right. And again, I think it's unreasonable for people that don't have a husband and or a wife to be celibate. That's just my opinion on that specific thing there.
That's what she is using that game for. So let's not pretend that some of these games don't purposefully try to elicit a sexual gratification out of the player. And there is a strong difference between a character being made to be aesthetically attractive, just like we can appreciate art, versus a character in a game that is designed to create sexual gratification out of the player. Okay, I know a lot of you aren't even going to hear what I'm saying, and you're still going to be doing these whataboutisms in my comments because you're so defensive. But hey, maybe some will listen. Same with like the queers and all that. You ever see how it just sounds like you're arguing with demons? It's the same way. These demons have a hold on these people, and they can't be reasoned with because they are so engulfed in their perversion. And what they don't realize is that the satisfaction they think that they're getting out of their perversion is just self-destructive. It's like you want to tell somebody to stop doing drugs because they're hurting themselves, but they cannot hear it. And it is the same thing. A lot of these gooners that are mad, and it's crazy. A lot of these gooners are
man. The word gooners makes me laugh, especially when she says it. I don't know why. It's because it's adorable when she says it.
mad at me because I spoke out against, no, I don't want this. That doesn't fix the gaming industry. People think that, make all these characters naked, make them all naked or half naked or in lingerie, make all the female characters in lingerie, and that fixes everything. No, it doesn't. Making good games fixes everything. Making games that actually have substance and quality fixes everything. And I'm going to tell you, if you actually look at a brilliant and artistic mind who can create a masterpiece, typically they have respect for their work. And as a result, you're going to see that portrayed in the characters that they create as well. So are you going to find a perverted game that happens to be a masterpiece? The chances of that are almost non-existent because, again, someone even capable of in the first place of producing a masterpiece is going to respect their work enough for that not to happen. Just like look at movies. If you compare a masterpiece of a movie to pornography, I keep saying corn because of YouTube monetization stuff. Have you ever in the history of your life seen something actually taken serious where somebody was like, wow, this pornography movie, my mind is blown by how insanely good the plot was and how the story, just that plot twist.
Yeah, 100% correct. Although More Rolls Than a Bakery Volume 8 had a really, really good storyline. Back on Skinamax in the day, that was a good one. Now, that is a good point. It is hard to find a movie that's going to be like porn, right? That's good. You know, in that way, right? Not take Meatballs seriously, shit. But as far as games, I think that's a little bit more nuanced. For example, Dead or Alive beach volleyball, Extreme Beach Volleyball. It's a fantastic game in my opinion. Like, it's legitimately a great game. I love the mechanics on that game.
The story just left me thinking about life and it changed me on a spiritual level. No, that doesn't happen because it's not art. It's perversion. I want art. As somebody, I appreciate art. I'm an artist myself. I love to draw. Like, I care about art. And people make jokes and act like, oh, what kind of stuff have you drawn? I bet you've drawn like perverted stuff before. It's like, literally no. Like, when I was a little kid, you draw body parts and stuff as a joke. But literally no. It's just like, you know what? I haven't. And I'm not saying everybody.
Yeah, dude, I was one of those kids in middle school. I just drew cocks and everything. I don't really know why I did that. You know, I remember at the end of the year, we had to turn in our science textbooks and every page had a dick on it. And I had to freaking go and erase everything. It was really annoying.
Who can't be an artist. They can, but that's not from an artist. That's like a fleshly outlet. It's like a perverted outlet, right? But when it comes to actual art, fine art, and I could be a bit, I don't want to say an art snob, but and especially my work with it, I'm not saying that my work should be hung in the Smithsonian, but I'm just saying the amount of pride that I take in my work because I genuinely care about art. I feel like if I were to draw some smutty picture would be perverting what I want to develop as my talent. So at the end of the day, when we want good video games, which are an artistic medium, it's really difficult and almost impossible to have a masterpiece that is also perverted. That is, oh, here, we're going to throw this in there directly for the people who want to lust after it. Let's make this completely with the intent of making the player lust and feel sexual desire.
Right. And that's what Rule 34 is for these people, right? So I don't disagree with this, right? So
For it. That's already corrupted their work. That's corrupted the work already. It is what it is. So no, I will continue to speak out against them deliberately defeminizing female characters. And I will continue to speak out against them deliberately emasculating male characters, for example. And I don't think the answer to fighting back against this perverted stuff is to make women ugly. That's not the answer, because if you teach men that you can't even look at a woman unless she's ugly or you're going to be gooning after her, that's not practical, and it's also just like weak. So here's the difference. It's one thing to say, okay, here's a character that's built to be attractive, which everybody is going to see attractive people in their life, but what separates a person from an absolute loser is that they can see an attractive person and not lose their minds and need to go take a break and run to the bathroom, and touch themselves. Like,
oh, now she's describing me.
I was actually going to plan this to be a lot more articulate, and I just turned on the camera and just started talking. And this is where I'm at now, so I don't know how coherent this even is as a whole, and I could talk a lot more, but I got to be cautious or careful or cognizant of everybody's time. But I'm just saying, let the record be straight now, and you can unfollow me if you want. I don't care. I didn't make this channel just to pander to people. I made this channel because I was already burned by a lot of the corruption. I've already seen a lot of the corruption in the gaming industry. I've seen a lot of the perversion, and some of the perversion that I defended. So I'm not here acting like I'm better than everybody. I'm here from a place now of knowing, okay, this...
Yeah, you hear that, V? She doesn't think she's better than you, V. She's addressing you, even though your video came out more recent. Dolan Tired says, I wonder what her body count is. Bro, come on now. See, what is everybody doing? See, this is the issue, okay? This is the issue. Body count, and within reason, I'll put a disclaimer. Look, I'm trying not to be internet black and white right now. Body count shouldn't be an issue after 25 or 28, I think, right? Unless it's like 1,000. That's different, obviously. But if you've been with like 25 peeps at 30, who gives a fuck? Right? I've never really understood that. Like, people that are like, oh, she's been with 4 guys and she's 28. Yeah, what the fuck? That's like pretty dim. That's good. That's like low. You know what I'm saying? But no, like, I mean, it's probably very normal. Anyways.
I can't support this because Jesus Christ changed my life, and he can change your life too. I don't care if you had 1,000 screenshots of these games that you were jerking it to, or if you lived a gay lifestyle or whatever it is, you can be saved through Jesus Christ. You don't have to be a slave to this. So
Yolanda says because she's a hypocrite. Hold on. I saw somebody said something that kind of related to that too. Eldon says the problem is she's Christian, so that's why it matters. What, the body count thing? So here's, like, I don't really, look, I'm not Christian or spiritual or religious. Like, I think everybody understands that. Here's the issue. Are you not allowed to be Christian anymore if, like, say you had a high body count in your 20s and now, like, you're 32 or 33 and you decided that, you want to take that path of, religion? Are you no longer allowed to take that path anymore because you did some stuff? I don't know how it works, but I'm pretty sure it's not how that works. Thou shalt be saved only if body count is less than 14.
So, yeah, I shame the activity, but I'm not saying that everybody who's participating in it will be doomed to be a loser forever. They don't have to be. So it was important to me to make that abundantly clear because some people had the impression that this is something that I defended, and I have in the past. So I have to differentiate myself from that as a Christian and as a creator to let people know that, hey, that's not me. That's not what I'm supporting. That's not what I'm encouraging. And that's not what I'm promoting. I want to call out perversion and things that I don't like in the nerd culture space. And that's why I have this channel. And whatever I do beyond that, we'll see, because I don't even know at this point. After Gooner Gate, I was like, well, that's how everybody expects me to be. And that's the only substance of my channel is to hop on here and be like, oh, whoa, guys, look at that. We win. Her whole butt's out. Yeah, hot. That's not me. That's not going to be me. I would rather not have the channel at all. I would rather quit this channel and go full time with a leap of faith on my Bible channel. I am not doing that. I'm not. I don't care if it gives me views, clicks, likes, donos. Don't care. I'm not doing it. I have credibility. I walked away from mainstream gaming industry. I got blacklisted from the mainstream gaming industry. Some of y'all don't know that was my bread and butter. That's what paid my bills. I was hosting for these companies online, even on television, at events around the world.
Yeah, she was on GameStop TV, and I couldn't stand her. I don't look again. I'm not into the Christian lifestyle, but from what I understand, tattoos is an Old Testament thing. And is not really factored in, right? Am I wrong? Somebody in the chat could probably correct that or let me know, because I don't think the Old Testament, because it's in Leviticus, right? Same thing with pork and a lot of other things.
And it's like because of my outspokenness and because I spoke against a lot of the stuff that they push, I got blacklisted from all that. So I didn't walk away from that to just pander to gooners. I didn't do that. I didn't trade speaking out against one perversion to promote another. I'm not gonna do that. And so it's like, I haven't felt comfortable in this space whenever that's expected of me. And so it's like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing from here on this channel. I don't know. Because I've just not felt the most inspired when it's like, wait a minute, is this who I'm supposed to be encouraging? So yeah, I'm going to be trying some different things on this channel. I'll still probably react to certain headlines and gaming news that applies to me. Like, oh, wow, we got a new Tomb Raider announcement or something. Even if I hate it, oh, look what they did. They made Lara Croft ugly. Like, I will speak out against that. But I really do feel like there's maybe a different direction I'm supposed to be in, and we'll see what that is. Maybe it's not completely just focusing on Bible channel. If it is, if God called me to that, I would do it. And I know God would provide for me. But I'm still going to focus on that channel. But, you know, maybe it's just changing some things up here. I kind of want to do.
Y'all are really hurting my girl, boys. Look what y'all have done. You can feel that. You can hear the pain in her voice. She's grappling with her own self, and all you guys could do is yell. All you could do is yell, dull and tired, and shame. How could you? How could you?
There you have it for this video. It's a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. I don't even know how many people are going to listen to it all, but the message is out there. I made my points known. Whatever I do from here, we'll see. I'm just trusting in God for his guidance.
I listened to it all, Melanie. From her perspective, everything she's saying makes sense. The only thing I have not covered yet that I'm very interested in is one step further. Do you want ass cheeks and games banned? That's where we're at. I don't have a problem with anything I've watched so far at all. The Griff took her June book. Well, I mean, like she stated, she changed her mind and she, she became a Christian and started reading the Bible. So I think it's fair. She changed her mind, right? The difference is trying to defend your previous takes. If she would have tried to defend her previous takes, oh, this is why I was okay with blah, 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 and actually I don't disagree with it anymore, right? But she said, I disagree with that now. I changed my mind, which I think is fair. People can change it.